This is a Short Fun podcast, and I'm Tom Barbalet. For about 6 years, I recorded a podcast called Biota, and I recorded actually probably 2 or 3 different iterations of the podcast. One was the initial interviews, and I did probably, maybe 20 interviews with different people. And then I went into a kind of organised recording session where I bring in 2 or 3 different folk and just do a traditional recording. And then I moved to a format called Biota Live, which went on for probably about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, where I would take live callers and people would call in, sometimes in a pre-arranged fashion, sometimes just because they were available at the time that I was recording Biota Live, and we would have a good conversation. It was an interesting podcast because, obviously, this format went on to define things like model rail radio, which I still do to this day, but just the sense that a community can be created just by opening a phone line, or in this case a Skype line, or I think we were still using TalkShoe then, so probably a phone line, and having folks call in and just talk about what they're working on. But also through this period of time, I got a sense of the personalities and the characters, and I became pretty fast friends with a lot of the folks who were participated in Biota Live. At a certain point, there was a strange change in the kind of broader Biota group. A number of the long-term participants decided that, they didn't really decide. Work got in the way for a number of them. Some of them decided that they weren't going to be doing artificial life-related stuff anymore. And in a short period of time, probably the key 5 or 6 participants other than myself who've been, in the Biota Lives pretty well since the start, stopped participating. And it was this drop, which happened for a variety of factors, that meant that I could no longer record Biota Live. It exists in a very interesting time capsule, a period of time where I had this group of people that I interacted with, but now it is over. Now a number of people have left the community. It struck me as interesting, the folks that I keep in contact with. Many of these people I were friends with through Facebook, and most of those people I've just either progressively removed from Facebook, or, I'm just not really interested in what they're doing anymore. In terms of my own development with Noble Ape, I've continued that on. It's gone in a wide variety of different directions. But when I think about the Biota Live period, I think of it as more a stage rather than something that could have perpetuated for a long period of time. And it begs the question, what happens in the future? I'm not interested really in being a futurist associated with these things. I just reflect on the fact that sometimes things have their time. And in the case of Biota Live, it had its time. Tom Barbalet in the Bay Area, signing out.